ask the quorum call be lifted.
Without objection, so ordered.
Thank you, Mr. President. I came to the floor this morning to speak to the legislation that is pending before us, S. 1769, the Rebuild America Jobs Act. This legislation, in fact, would put literally millions of Americans back to work, rebuilding our nation's roads, our bridges, our airports, and our railways. The bill that's before us has two components. The first is a direct $50 billion federal investment in our infrastructure, and it would be split between roads, rail, transit, and airport projects. More than half of that would go to our well-established formula-driven highway and transit programs, and that would include about $132 million for New Hampshire. The second piece of this proposal would create an infrastructure bank. That's legislation that I've co-sponsored, and it has had bipartisan co-sponsorship here in the Senate. The bank, as it's structured, would be able to leverage public dollars to attract private capital, and that would, if it's successful, lead to hundreds of billions of dollars in infrastructure projects over the next 10 years. It's a bipartisan idea, as I said, and it has attracted support from both the AFL-CIO and the U.S. Chamber of Commerce. So clearly it's a good idea if it's got both of those organizations on board. Together, this legislation pending before us would mean immediate jobs for our construction industry. It's been one of the hardest hit by this recession. In New Hampshire, the number of people working in the construction industry in 2010 was the lowest that it's been in a decade. It was 25% lower than it was just in 2006, according to the Bureau of Labor Statistics. Christian Zimmerman, who is the head of one of our biggest contractors in New Hampshire, Pike Industries in Belmont, told me that he's had to lay off 150 workers in the last couple of years as federal funding to build New Hampshire's roads has run out. The Federal Highway Administration estimates that every $1 billion in highway spending supports more than 27,000 jobs. Economists at Moody's estimate that for every dollar we spend on infrastructure, our gross domestic product goes up by $1.59. That's because of the ripple effect that this spending has in economic activity. There are a number of good reasons to support the legislation that's before us. In the short term, this proposal would help put those who are unemployed in the construction industry back to work, something that would be critical as we're thinking about how do we help the millions in this country who are unemployed and who have been unemployed, many of them for more than a year. In the long term, the benefits of this investment in our infrastructure are equally important. A quality infrastructure is critical to our businesses, it's critical to our future economic growth, and it's critical to our future competitiveness in the world. According to numerous studies, deteriorating infrastructure costs businesses more than $100 billion a year in lost productivity. And there's very good evidence to show that our lack of investment in recent years is making itself felt in the condition of our roads and our bridges. This past June, New Hampshire Society of Civil Engineers issued a report card on the condition of our state's roads and bridges, our dams, our wastewater facilities, our airports, and our waterways. So those major projects that we all consider part of our infrastructure. Sadly, the engineers' report card gave New Hampshire's infrastructure a grade of C. That's better than the grade the national organization has given to the United States as a whole. That was a D. But it's not as good as we want it to be, and it's not as good as we need for New Hampshire or this country if we're going to continue to be competitive. 15% of New Hampshire's bridges are rated structurally deficient by the Federal Highway Administration. 148 of them are red listed. You know, when I first got elected to the state Senate, we had a real controversy in New Hampshire because we had a highway commissioner who said that because of the number of red-listed bridges, when we all drove around New Hampshire and went over a bridge, we should drive fast and not look back. Well, fortunately, we're not in that position right now, but we have a lot of our bridges that need investments. And this bill before us would provide New Hampshire with additional federal highway funding that would help us address these bridges that are red-listed and our other transportation needs. The most important project that could be addressed by this legislation in New Hampshire is a project that's been underway for years in the southern part of our state that's been threatened by the uncertainty surrounding federal funding. It's the widening of Interstate 93 between southern New Hampshire and Massachusetts. This project is long overdue. It's badly needed by commuters and businesses in the area. The I-93 project was budgeted and planned based on the idea that the federal government would provide a consistent level of funding. But unfortunately, the Republican budget that the House has called for would produce a 35% cut in our highway program. And unfortunately, Congress has not yet been able to reach an agreement on a long-term reauthorization of our highway program. The uncertainty around this and the prospect that such a drastic cut has made this project, I-93, very difficult to finance. Right now, New Hampshire transportation officials have $115 million worth of bonding authority for this project that's just sitting on the sidelines because the federal government hasn't made good on our funding commitments. The bill before us today would help complete this critical project for New Hampshire and so many others like it across the country. If we want to see the benefits that investment in infrastructure can provide in New Hampshire, we only need to look at the new airport access road that goes to our largest airport in our largest city of Manchester. It's going to open to traffic a full 2 years ahead of schedule. The project was accelerated because of the funding it received from the Recovery Act. And I remember going in the winter after we passed the Recovery Act, looking at the bridge that was being constructed and talking about how we were going to be able to speed up this project because of those Recovery Act dollars. Well, in fact, it's happened. It's going to open 2 years early. And local planning boards along the Manchester Airport Access Road are already seeing increased interest from commercial developers for the land that's along that road that's been opened up because of this new highway. And of course, Manchester's airport is also going to benefit from the investment in our airport access road. Another piece that's in this legislation that is critical to our infrastructure investment in New Hampshire and across the country is the funding for a next-generation system of air traffic control, which would transfer our system from a ground-based radar system to a GPS-based system, something most of us have in our cars these days. That would allow the entire airline industry to plan more efficient point-to-point routes, and it would allow everybody to save on fuel costs. I had the opportunity to meet with Southwest Airlines a couple of weeks ago. It's the largest air carrier in the Manchester airport. And they talked to me about the challenges they're facing and the entire airline industry is facing because we haven't invested in this next generation system of air traffic control. They said it'll save us money because it'll be more economical in terms of fuel usage because they can go point to point. And it will save time because we can provide for more efficient routes. This is a no-brainer. Right now, our system of air traffic control is behind even the country of Mongolia's. It's time for us to make this investment to make it easier for airlines to fly into a small hub airport like Manchester. It would save us all money. It would be safer. It's an investment that is long overdue. A couple of weeks ago, I also had a chance to speak at an infrastructure summit that the Greater Manchester Chamber of Commerce supports for the Greater Manchester region. And there was a whole day of talking about why investment in our infrastructure is important. Because without reliable power, without reliable bridges and public transportation and roads, businesses can't thrive. The Manchester Chamber believes that investment in infrastructure is critical to growing our economy and creating jobs, and I share that belief. It's a belief that I came to as a state senator way back over 20 years ago when I served in the New Hampshire State Senate. It's something that I continued to support as governor. And in those days, we worked together on a bipartisan basis because we all understood, Republicans and Democrats, that investing in infrastructure produces returns. New Hampshire and the rest of our country needs this investment that this legislation pending before us would provide. Our unemployed need the work. Our businesses need to know that we're going to make these investments so they can depend on the certainty for their long-term growth and competitiveness. So I would hope that as we come to this vote today on the motion to proceed to this legislation, that my colleagues would, particularly those across the aisle, would give up their opposition to this legislation. I know they know how critical it is to invest in our infrastructure. So this is something we all ought to come together around. Just because this is a proposal that's been put forward by the President is not a reason not to support it. So I would urge all of my colleagues to support the passage of this legislation. Let's make these investments. Let's put people back to work. Let's make sure that we're going to be competitive in the future. Thank you very much, Mr. President. I yield the floor, and I suggest the absence of a quorum.
Clerk will call the roll.
Mr. Akaka.
you.